Hey everybody, I just came over here to shoot a video about the plants in this tank, and I noticed this spot on the side of my gourami. And if you actually look at this side, just sort of above and behind the eye, when the coloring and the angle is just right, you can kind of see a spot on that side too. But this side, no matter which way you look at it, you can see a white spot. Now I can't tell, it doesn't look like it's a raised spot. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. It doesn't look like it's, fuzzy or something like that, like it's a growth on there. It almost looks the other way around. It almost looks like it's a little spot of deterioration. I would almost think something like hole in the head disease, except the real name for hole in the head disease is it's lateral line erosion disorder or something like that, but it's got more to do with the lateral line than it does the head, even though it's usually called hole in the head disease. Although I suppose it's the lateral line and around the head area. But that's much more typical in cichlids. I've never heard of hole in the head disease on a gourami. And why it would develop it or whatever, I'm not sure. I really have no idea what I'm looking at. I literally just this minute saw these marks. I'm not even sure what to make of them yet. It might simply be a minor injury. The Moonlight Gouramis get that beautiful shimmering sheen that they have because they've got really, really teeny tiny little scales. So perhaps if there's a little chunk of scales knocked out, maybe it got in a little squabble with another fish, or maybe it darted and banged its head against something. I know it doesn't really get along well with the smaller Moonlight Gourami that's in here. She was just chasing it around a few minutes ago. As you can see, they're fast when they want to be, and if they get startled and dart and dash and they hit something at a speed like that, you can imagine the damage they would do to their body if they impacted something, if they dash like that. So I'm not really sure what we're looking at. Here's the small one. She's made a little brief appearance for a moment. Maybe this one, fighting back a little bit, took a shot and wound up taking a few little scales out of her or something, and that's all we're seeing, and it's nothing for me to really worry too much about. But at the moment, I'm a little concerned. I don't really know what I'm looking at. With these marks by her head, you can see just above her eye, and then there's another one just kind of above and behind her eye. And then of course the other side, her left side, we can see very clearly no matter which angle we're looking at. So there you go, just another little update that is the ongoing saga of my fish room and all the stuff that's always going on in here. So make sure you're subscribed. I do updates all the time, and I always keep everybody abreast of what's going on in all the different tanks and whatnot. Whenever I discover something like this or I see something new or unusual, I always try to get it on video. I always try to document anything, so future reference for myself if I ever need to look back, and hopefully it'll help somebody else along the way. So like I said, make sure you're subscribed, that way you won't miss anything I got. And I am about to do a video about the plants in this tank and how I divide them and separate them and cut them up and that sort of thing. So once again, if you're subscribed, you won't miss any of that. Don't forget, this one is my gourami tank. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you real soon in the next one.